Hello, Positive Filter listeners or viewers of this short take on Instagram, not Instagram, sorry, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. It's Philip Wilkerson back with another episode of a short take. As you can see from the title, it's Positive Filter, uh, my personal board of advisors. As I'm on internet, I'm also always inspired by people I've never met in person, but I've followed for some time. And Miss Shanna Hocking, I hope I didn't mispronounce her name, has inspired me through her Be Yourself Boldly movement and her ideas on social media. She's a great writer and someone I've drawn a lot of inspiration from. And one thing that struck me very recently was she offered a free PDF, which I'll put in the chat, a free PDF about developing your personal board of advisors. And so hopefully I don't do her a disservice, but I wanted to touch upon what that means to me because it really struck a chord. I really look to others as a great resource to guide me, other people I look up to. And so I was like, wow, I already have a list of people. Maybe there's some ideas from this PDF that she developed that I can use. And it did. It really helped me develop my personal board of advisors. So what just to overview, and hopefully I don't really do her a disservice, is you know, companies have a boardroom, many different collaborators at the table, people with different perspectives and views, experts, you have your finance person, your marketing person, your CEO, all these different people at the boardroom. And collectively you hear their voices, you hear their input, and then you make a decision, right? Very, very, that's kind of what I conceptualize a board table. You kind of say, here's my ideas, brainstorm, and then you make very, big decisions. Well, we should, as individuals, have our own board of advisors, people with different perspectives, industry knowledge, expertise at the table that we reach out to, connect with, and then take their advice for what it is to make major decisions in your life. And so she had 4 steps that she went through to curate your personal board of advisors. And so I'm going to go through those steps as she outlined it and then just say what they mean to me. And so number one, who belongs at the table with you? That's the question. So from what I heard and what I thought about was before you develop or curate this list, you need to do a little bit of introspection and analyze what type of person you want to become, what kind of leader you want to be. Who do you want to tap from? What kind of industries you want to tap from? Uh, and so before I even curated my list, I thought about who was I want to be as a leader, what space, whether it's education or in my fraternity or as a father, all these different aspects of me. I looked within and said, okay, what do I want to be? What is the maximum, not maximum potential, but the forward thinking Philip Wilkerson that I want to be? And from that forward thinking person that I wanted, I started to develop not the adjectives, but more so the different categories to make up my advisory board. And so, thinking about a father, thinking about someone that's more seasoned in education, someone that's more seasoned in my fraternity, someone that's more seasoned in home ownership, all these different pockets to make up my board of advisors. So before you even started, who belongs at your table? I'd also like to say, maybe to add on, what kind of table you want to have, like what is your table? What kind of table do you want to have and curate? So that's number one. Number two, as she has outlined in her 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 thoughts, and is develop your board. And so I reach out, and so I took that to heart. I have an actual Excel spreadsheet of people I look up to with their name, their phone number, the way that I reach out to them, maybe what category of mentor they are to me. And so I had that list. And I was just being kind of nerdy. It was just a way for me to stay organized. I like to have it organized, like who are the people that I like to reach out to and develop relationships with. So do whatever you think if you think it's a little extra to have an Excel spreadsheet, yeah, more power to you. But, for me, that helped me stay organized. So I have a list, an Excel spreadsheet with people that I wanted to develop relationships with that I look up to. I think one of the things I really like that she added, and give her full credit, was that not necessarily does everyone on your advisory board need to be people that you can actually reach out to. She had that maybe you emulate or want to be like someone that is far away, that's outside of your reach. And she called that a board member at large. So I thought that was the dopest idea. And so I got a couple people on my list that are people that I probably will never run into, but I look up to them. I'm like, wow, I would love to be like that person someday. And so I think the way, in regards to them, as opposed to the people with their name and phone number to reach out to, I think I'm gonna look at it. I haven't developed my list of who I want to look up to like that, but I'm thinking in my mind, like making sure that I like maybe set a Google, I guess Google alert when there's new articles about them written in the news, or listen to their podcast or episodes, things like that. Ways that I can still learn from them, read their books if they have a biography. People that I won't reach, people that I won't be in contact with. How can I reach out to them mentally? Be connected and learn from them. So I'll find a way to curate that. Okay, the next one is curate your board. I think nurturing your relationships. Honestly, the actual thing I want to think about for this is you know just reach out to them. Think about introducing myself, jumping back. I have a thing in my phone to reach out to certain people once a week or once a month. So maybe just being more strategic about that. And the word, when I hear cultivate, I'm sorry, not curate, cultivate. That means like I feel like a plant. You water it, you maintain it, you nurture it. It's just not a one stop thing. It's people that you want to continuously build a long term relationship with, and you know develop. And then lastly, that she has for number 4 for her is evolve your board as you grow. And so this is the part where I'm probably at right now, because I had this Excel spreadsheet that's a little extra. I probably have way more names on that list than I need. And there's people that necessarily, uh, there's people for a season, right? So not necessarily doesn't mean that they're no good or they have no value, but maybe we just kind of not fell apart, we grew apart, or I grew in a different direction, and my goals and myself has changed. So what I'm going to do, what I've interpreted that with that evolution, is maybe do a sweep, maybe delete some names that I don't really talk to as much, and things that were I maybe thought I was going to do something like. I thought I wanted to be like a world famous power lifter. I don't lift weights like that no more. So things like that, as my goals change for myself, maybe the people that I thought would be on my quote unquote advisory board kind of fall off. But I'm very curious, those that listen to this or watching this later, do you believe in that? Do you have your own list of people that you continuously build relationships with? Honestly, I would be humbled and very, very shocked if I was on anyone's board, advisory board. If you do, I like to use that meme, like whatever advice I give you, uh, you can use it as you want, because if it don't go right, my bad. But I definitely see the value in building relationships, curating relationships, and having good people in your life that guide you. I wouldn't be where I was without the good people in my life. I think that's without saying. And so I know that for me, I need people to connect with to help me grow. This journey of life is not a solo project, right? This is a team effort. And I always want to continuously put people on my team that I know are going to elevate me and make me grow, and vice versa. Hopefully, I add some value to them just being in their life. So, thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Hawking, for your wonderful idea. I think that it's great. I'm definitely going to put it in the show notes and really encourage others to develop their list. I think it was a great idea to write an article about this and really get people thinking. So, kudos to you. And if you are a listener of Positive Filter, please continue to follow along. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Thank you for supporting these visions that I have. And just have a great day. Happy Labor Day weekend, and keep on being great. All right. Take care.